With us also now is Vishal Singh. He is the CEO of the Kashi Vishwanath temple, one of the most revered temples for the Hindus in the country. Thank you so much, Vishalji, for joining us on this
Hello, everybody. Thank
discussion. And we are delighted to have a
yeah.
very distinguished panel with us representing different faiths. Vishalji, I would want to ask you, we have been discussing the different contours about the merits and the demerits when it comes to opening up places of religious worship, whether it's in the right interest, what should be done, what can be the way forward. We've talked of different measures that have been adopted or that are being planned. While some places of religious worship, say for instance in Delhi, the churches will remain shut. The Shahi Imam has said that the Jama Masjid will be shut. We have seen that the Gurdwara is also taking in stringent precautions and measures. As far
Right.
as you are concerned, you did a first. You became very active on LinkedIn. You became extremely active on social media, and you used the power of social media to reach out to your devotees who otherwise would have actually come down to the temple to offer their prayers. But since, because of lockdown, they were not in a position to do, you relied on technology to take, in a way, the temple to their doorstep. Just explain what the thought process behind this was, Vishalji, and also, do you think the technology will play a huge role going forward in this so-called new normal phase?
Sure, Arnav. First thing is that yes, we realized because Kashi Vishwanath temple is one of the oldest Jyotirling, as you must be, all of us are aware of. And it was not really managed the way it should be for long. And the emphasis has been on maintaining certain things the way it were, rather than adopting technology and adopting the latest developments and latest discoveries which are happening in different fields to enable more and more people, to make it easier for them, to make it more accessible. All that was not happening. So since we started this project of modernizing and redoing the whole temple and creating more space and facilities for devotees, we realized that probably that part is missing. And it has been almost a year and a half. We have created enough space right now. I mean, like, the construction is going on. We are trying to create amenities for devotees so as to give them that spiritual experience which they should get when they come here. In the middle of all that, this lockdown happened, whereas the temple and the devotees were picking up on, number was increasing. We started having international guests, and we had almost people from 120 plus countries visiting temple. So the idea that came to our mind was that why should we not adopt technological measures in the lockdown? And there was a huge demand. We started providing this live feed to people to begin with. Then to personalize their experience, we also started virtual puja and Rudrabhishek and other such rituals which people wanted to perform for their individual benefits or on special days for them, like their birthdays and things like that, and otherwise auspicious days of Hindu calendar. So that also picked up very well. We adopted all handles of social media and started posting pictures of artis and darshanam for people. That also picked up very well. And to really tell you, now we are going to give again a personalized darshan and tour across the temple and different deities using drone. So it has been a wonderful shift from physically coming to the temple. One, two, it takes some time for people to adopt the change. There are certain people who really want to come there every day in the morning and every day in the evening and perform puja or do darshanam physically. We are not really trying to desist in any which way that they should not come here or whatever, but they have to maintain social distancing and the new norms. They have to put mask, they have to use sanitization and everything. And that is basically being done. But we also don't want that temple should get crowded at any given point of time so that it becomes difficult for us to manage. So to give an option, we started with all these online and technological initiatives which has to so as to help people in that. Till now, it has been a really wonderful journey, and people have adopted it well. And to tell you, like, we got a lot of interest from NRIs or people living abroad in different countries or different parts of the world. They showed a huge amount of interest in these things. and mostly people from North America and Western Europe, they started performing pujas online, and they started donating for different initiatives for the trust. So I
Right.
think it's a new thing which is picking up, but it will go a long way.
Right. So in a way, it's a new paradigm which has not been explored in the past. Jagmohan Singh, I want to ask you that as far as the dependency on technology is concerned, how are you looking at technology and harnessing the power of social media going forward? Because as Vishal Singh ji also just pointed out, that how do you strike a balance? On one hand, if the government mandates that the places of worship will be open beyond a specific period, with all norms in place, people will be coming in. So management of people and devotees will be an issue, but at the same time, to reach out to many others who might still be thinking that should we go, should we put ourselves at risk? Is this exposure called for? Technology will play a pivotal role.
Absolutely, very true. I would like to tell you that there are various channels, like for Delhi only, from Bangla Sahib Gurdwara on Chardigala Time TV, morning and evening, both the times, there is live telecast of the Kirtan, as well as the morning rituals of Prakash of Guru Granth Sahib, as well as from the Amritsar, the Darbar Sahib, there is a morning and evening telecast of the Kirtan. And during this lockdown period, an afternoon session of live telecast has also been initiated by a channel of PTC. So there is one another channel of PTC which live telecast Kirtan Hazur Sahib, which is in Nanded, Maharashtra, which is also of very much importance, historical importance to the Sikhs. And I would certainly say that yes, if the government in the future thinks that people are coming to the religious places and it is causing a threat to the life of the people, then in that case, certainly yes, the technology will be used to the fullest, and we will try to reach out to the every person who is a devotee and wants the darshan of the gurdwaras and all the religious institutions.
Father
विष्णु
Patrick,
कांत को फोन
now
करके बोलो
would
आधे
you
घंटे बाद
agree
फोन
with
करेंगे.
what Jagmohan Singh ji just said, that if the government says yes, going forward, if there is a sudden, once again, if the spike goes beyond control, if the government decides, hypothetically speaking, to once again enforce a closure of places of worship, which see a lot of footfalls, uh, are the churches ready for the way ahead?
Yeah, surely. As I said, we have not yet opened the churches in Delhi Catholic. All the Catholic churches in Delhi diocese, Delhi, which falls Delhi and Haryana, are shut still. They have not been opened, and they will not be opened unless we also assess on our ground that whether people
Right.
are safe in our campus, or we are able to provide them that safety which they supposed to have. So churches have not been opened, and the situation comes where government decide that churches or any religious places should not be open because it is causing a threat of life to the people. I would say it would be a good judgment from the government. Yeah, because
Right.
if
So
today
everyone seems to be in agreement that when it comes to devotees, it's the lives of the devotees which comes first. Ilyas Sharafuddin, a quick word from you that we do know that a lot of water has flown in the river, so to say, when it comes to one particular religious congregation that happened in Delhi, which was described as being in a way a fountainhead of the way that the disease spread. Having said that, going forward, what the onus lies on each and every religious leader, the onus lies on each and every one of us to curb the spread of the disease. Going forward, what would your one point, advice be or suggestion be to the government in terms of containment of this vis-a-vis places of religious worship?
As the saying goes, that with great powers come great responsibilities. So if you are holding something high position in the corridors of power, more responsibility one needs to bear over there. And I would like to say that please have a very strong healthcare system, non-corrupt, to the core, efficient, with the good manpower, good supplies of medicines and all the other equipments, and as much testing being suggested by the experts and as much quarantine suggested by the experts. Please have the strong healthcare system for the whole of the nation, because an asset for the nation is its citizens. If you are compromising on the life of the citizens, it means that you are compromising on the national security of the nation. So I feel that healthcare system should be developed, and I strongly feel that very painful feeling from the bottom of my heart, irrespective of keeping all the politics aside, that there has to be a very strong coordination between state and central
Right,
leadership.
and I think that could be like a real winner, like a strong coordination between all arms of the government. Vishal Singh ji, one last word from you as we wrap up this discussion. I would want to ask you, now Hindu devotees, as you all know, are now looking forward to the Rath Yatra festivities, which attracts thousands of people in the temple town of Puri in Odisha. Having said that, this time around, because of the pandemic and the way that the disease is spreading, there is still a lot of confusion. There is still a lot of doubt in the minds of the administration, in the minds of the devotees, in the minds of the temple administration. What would your suggestion be? What has been, if you look back at your learning during this lockdown and the way that you have learned to live with learning and ensure that spirituality can be all encompassing and not restricted to four walls, what would your suggestion be for one of the biggest congregations that the country sees every year around?
Exactly. So, well, this is my personal opinion. I don't know what the government will decide or what will they do in Puri, but my experience has been that we see something which we know that yes, it is very, very highly contagious kind of virus, and any kind of physical distance, if reduced, it can affect the person otherwise, and then difference of immunity and so on and so forth. I think any kind of religious gathering or even otherwise, which can not follow the norms of social distancing, should not be done.
Right.
Though religious places have been opened, as I said, that we are following all those norms, which may not be very comfortable for people who are coming there, but we have to understand that we cannot let something take over that normal behavior. The new norms are like that we have to understand faith is important. Yes, it is. It connects all of us, and it is maybe the meaning of many life for many people and for all of us maybe. But we have to understand that scientifically something has been proven, though we have to be utter careful. Utmost care should be taken to maintain the beat of any religion for that matter.
Absolutely. So unprecedented times do call for unprecedented measures, and we have seen that during this lockdown, when it comes to Makkah, Medina, we have seen that how it's borne a completely desolate look when the authorities decided to enforce a complete lockdown. We have seen that how the Pope had went online and decided to deliver his sermons, not physically, but depending on technology. We have seen that how in case of Sikhism, technology has played a pivotal role, as Jagmohan Singh ji has been pointing out. Also, we have seen that how worship, religious sermons, how Gurbani, the message of religious leaders, that has been taken to hundreds and thousands of people depending on technology. We have seen that how, for instance, in a way, the information and the technology revolution that has been heralded by Vishal Singh ji when it comes to one of the most revered places of worship as far as the Hindu religion is concerned, the Kashi Vishwanath temple, how he has taken it in his stride and ensured that work goes on as far as the temple proceedings are concerned. But at the same time, the doors are maybe physically locked, but it doesn't mean that the doors are locked for devotees the world over. We have seen that in Tirupati, Devasthanam, for instance, how they had locked down, but now once the gates have been opened with all social distancing norms and process, the famous Tirupati Laddu is now being sold not from within the temple, but from a counter outside. So different measures are being taken. I must thank all of you for joining us on this very, very engaging discussion. I must say that as far as religious leaders are concerned, as far as places of worship are concerned, since you have the power to reach out to so many people at one go, and people look up to religious leaders, the role of religious leaders and the religion as a whole in trying to shape the minds of devotees and hundreds and thousands of people outside, that is of paramount importance. Thank you, everyone,
Thank you
for joining us
Thank
on
you
the
for it.
podcast. It was a pleasure having all of you.